I go around, I go around, I go around and I go around and I go around.
Can you guys believe it? We're here today for Love Island season 8. Well, Love Island USA season 8 because we have Love Island UK coming out like next month. But yeah, Love Island USA season 8. So this year I said that instead of like bringing the videos out in September, I'm gonna like watch it as the show comes out because normally I wait till it's like done, then I binge watch, bring my video out, whatever. But I was like, I'm gonna like watch it as we go. But then I was like, I do not like, I was thinking back to the 3 hours of footage I had when I was like breaking down the entire season. So I figured, okay, I'm gonna film in parts. I obviously have not finished the series because I'm currently filming this June, what day are we? June 26th. So we haven't even finished Casa yet. I obviously do not know how the season is gonna go, if we're gonna like these people, yes or no. I went into this thinking, oh my god, like I'm actually so happy because these men seem like better than any other men that I've seen on the show. Like obviously there's some that are like, what are we doing? But generally I'm like, okay, I like this. Until Casa. That's my, like those are my thoughts and opinions as of now. Once again, I like the day that I'm filming this, I think tonight we have the episode with the recoupling after Casa. So I literally have no idea where we're going from here. I'm like 17 or 18 episodes in, I'm not sure. But anyways, we're here to break down the entire series of, I was gonna say Vanderpump, of Love Island season 8. But first of all, if you're new here, my name is Mila. I make everything from postgrad, lifestyle, and bookish type content. And we also dabble into, obviously, as you can see today, pop culture. So we talk about reality TV, we talk about songs, and I do want to like branch into like more, I guess, like serious TV shows or like series and just go like follow the storyline. I don't know what I want to do yet, but that's a plan for like in the future because obviously like Love Island is going to be done in like 2 months, and then Vanderpump in September, I'm bringing out like the last episode. So I'm like, what are you going to do after that? I have no idea, but we're definitely going to figure out something because I genuinely love making these videos so much. It's so much fun. So yeah, those are all like the little housekeeping things. Let's get right into season 8 of Love Island. So I learned from my mistakes in previous years. I printed out pictures of the Islanders way too big and I was like struggling when I was moving them around. So today it's smaller. I hope that you guys can see. I'm like trying my best. I think it's good. I zoomed in a tiny bit more, but I think it should generally be fine. So for the girls, we have Anaya, Beatrice, Kenzie, Melanie, Trinity, and then for the guys, we have Bryce, Sean, Sincere, Casey, and Zach. Obviously, it's Love Island. They don't know each other. So Ari comes in and she's like, you know what? We're gonna do these like little icebreaker games. And in typical Love Island fashion, kissing is involved. So this season, we have these like big doors, which are like, well, we have like 3 big doors, right? And then Ari would ask a question and then each door is a different answer. So you would kiss the Islander that is like compatible with you based on like what their answers were, right? So I think they do like 3 or 4 rounds. Super fun. Well, I was gonna say cute, not very cute, but like, fun getting to know each other. And then Ari pops a question that was a weird way of saying it, but she's like, like decide who you want to couple up with. So they go behind like the door of the person that they want to couple up with. Also, by the way, if you see me looking off over here, I realize that having like an iPad in my hand with my notes is like way too complicated to film. Like I'm either putting it down, looking down, or whatever. So I figured, you know what, I'm gonna have my laptop off to the side with like zoomed in my script. So if you see me looking over there, that's what I'm looking at. Then yeah, so everyone slowly starts to open their door, and then you have Trinity that stands behind Bryce's door. So our first Love Island couple, I'm gonna tell them to, and I'm gonna move them around. So our first Love Island couple is Trinity and Zach. The next people to go, well, the next guy to open his door is Sean. So Sean opens his door, he sees Bea, and they're Love Island season 8's first couple, I guess. Then we have Casey who opens his door, and unfortunately, no one is behind his door. So poor Casey is single for now. Next, we have Sincere who opens his door, and behind his door, he sees Anaya and Melanie. So since he has 2 girls, he's allowed to pick which girl he wants to couple up with, and Sincere decides to couple up with Melanie. And then last but not least, we have Zach who opens his door, and he sees Kenzie. So Zach and Kenzie are a couple. And then since Anaya wasn't picked and Casey didn't have anyone behind his door, they become the final couple. So here we have a better view, right? You guys can see of all of our couples. We have Trinity and Bryce, who's, well, obviously everyone starts to get to know each other. We have Trinity and Bryce who are actually really vibing and they kiss. And then then Bea and Sean are talking, and turns out Sean does have a kid, and Bea's like, like, I don't know if that's for me, because like personally, like outside of the villa, a guy having a child is a red flag for me. So we're gonna see what goes on over there. And that's the end of like the first, well, I guess like day 0, right? So day 1, we have all the guys who make the girls breakfast, which is super, I mean, it's also like the bare minimum in like Love Island, but like super cute. We have Melanie and Cecile that are talk, and they're vibing, so they share a kiss, and the same for Anaya and Casey. And then at night we have Ariane, who comes back with the door, so you know that she means door is up, so you know that she means business. So she like has all the girls go on one side, all the guys go on the other side, and there's 2 dots. There's a red dot and there's a green dot, and she says, okay, if you're happy in your couple, stand on the green dot. If you do want to go and explore, stand on the red dot. So standing on the green dot, we have, well, let's go like in order. I mean, I forget what order they went in, but like let's go Anaya and Casey. So they both decide to stay on the green dot. We have Kenzie and Zach. So Kenzie stays on the green dot. Zach decides he wants to go on the red dot. Trinity and Bryce, we're not really like sure how they feel, so they both decide to go on the red dot. Bea decides to go on the red dot while Sean is on the green, and then both Melanie and Cecile decide to stay on the green dot. And then before they open the door to figure out like who wants to stay, who wants to leave, Ari announces that we have 2 new bombshells. I'm going to show you guys a picture and then we're going to put them up. We have Kata, who's bombshell number 1, and then Gabe, who is bombshell number 2. She lets them go. Once again, the doors are so close, so the guys don't know what the girls are getting up to, and the girls don't know what the guys are getting up to. So she lets these 2 bombshells go and kiss all the islanders that are on the red dot, and then pull them away. The doors still haven't opened, so we know it's gonna get so messy. Once the bombshells have brought their islanders off and away, we start to open the doors. So it's normally the guys who open the door. So Casey opens his door, and he's super happy to see Anaya there. Kenzie opens her door, and unfortunately Zach is not there. Trinity and Bryce, no one opens the door, so we know that like, they both decided to leave. Sincere opens his door, super happy to see Melanie, and then Sean opens his door, and he's very surprised that Bea is not there. Then we jump to, like, they're not in a private villa, but they're in these like private rooms, right? We jump to those private rooms, and we see Kata getting to know Zach and Bryce, and Gabe getting to know Trinity and Beatrice. And the vibes that I'm getting here is that Gabe would choose Bea, and then Kata would choose Zach, but alas, we do not know until the next day. So day number 2, we have Sean, who makes Kenzie breakfast, because obviously Kenzie's like not feeling super great, and he is single, so he's like, you know what, I'm gonna do something nice for her. And poor Sean, he's still so confused, so he's going around talking to everyone, and they're all like, I don't know why she did it, like I didn't see it coming. But then we also saw a clip the previous day of Bea telling the girls that like she doesn't know how she feels about Sean having a kid, because that's a red flag for her. So I was kind of like I don't know if they just like said that to not be like, oh, it's because you have like a kid that she like wanted to go explore. I don't know if that's why, if they generally forgot. But when they were talking between themselves also, they did not mention that. So I don't know why, but I'm like, it didn't really come as a surprise, because she did say that like she did not like that if there's a chance to explore, might as well do it. So I don't know, personally for me, I saw it coming, but everyone else seemed like very surprisingly very confused. Then today we have Kata, who has private little dates. Well, she has a private date with Bryce and another private date with Zach, and same thing for Gabe with his private dates. And then at night, everyone comes back to the villa, and the bombshells are allowed to pick who they want to couple up with. So Kata, well, how it's done this time is that the bombshell gets to kiss the person. So it's not just like, oh, I pick you. It's like, no, like we're gonna kiss. So Kata decides to pick Zach, and Gabe decides to pick Bea. And then since Trinity and Bryce were not picked, they're back as a couple again, which is actually like really funny. But yeah, so I think that's how we end. That's not how we end the day. So before the day ends, we have Zach, who tries to pull Kenzie because he was told that she like really didn't feel well, and he wants to talk to her to kind of like explain and just like, talk, make sure that she's okay, but she refuses. And that's where we end day number 2. So day number 3, we have Zach, who once again tries another time to talk to Kenzie, but she refuses. She's like, oh no, I'm not feeling like it. So he's like, you know what, I'm not gonna bother, like I tried, she doesn't want to talk to me, I'm gonna drop it. Sincere actually doesn't spend like a second of this day talking to Melanie, so she's like very confused and very mad. But then he's talking to Kata, so Melanie is like, it's like starting to like bubble, well not bubble up, but starting to like add on to each other. She's like getting very annoyed. Then we see Kata, who's talking to Gabe and to Jean, who the hell is Jean, and Sean, and it's like super cute, fun, flirty vibes. Then at night, the Islanders get a text, and there's another game. So basically how this game works is that there's the pool, and then they're all like lined up in front of the pool. Someone reads this like, I was gonna say affirmation, no, this like that doesn't work in English, I'm like thinking in French, this like I guess like sentence, this facts, right? And then they have to pick who the islander is, and the islander that they pick, they like push in the pool. So a few little interesting things that we find out over here. There's this girl who, well, I mean Melanie goes to the guy after he bought her an engagement ring. So everyone is like so confused. They're like, girl, what? And she explains, and this is like actually crazy. So in high school, she was telling this guy that she was saying that she was waiting for marriage, and then this guy goes to buy an engagement ring, and her friend finds out. Her friend calls her, and then they're both like freaking out. They're like, you have to like just like drop this guy, and she completely ghosted him. Just kind of funny. Another thing that we find out is that Sincere was texting or like talking with other girls while he was dating someone, and then when people like ask him about it, his defense or his excuse is like, oh well, who hasn't? Obviously Melanie is like, okay, this is like a major red flag. Everyone else is like, huh? And they're like, what are you talking about? He's like, you know, who hasn't? Which like, okay. But anyways, when the challenge ends, everyone jumps into the pool, and then well, like they start like making out with each other. And then you have Kenzie and Sean who kiss. So we're seeing something like bloom over here, and it's super exciting. So after this, Sincere finally talks with Melanie, and Melanie's like, okay, like what's going on? Because like you were talking to Kata and you didn't pull me once this entire day. Like, do you like her? Do you want to get to know her? So Sincere is like, oh, you know, like I'm not into her. I just wanted to like check in on her about Zach, because I care about Zach. Zach is my friend. And then they kind of go back and forth, and then Melanie's like, okay, you know, if you want to go like explore people, we can both go do it, and then like you decide what you want. But like you can tell she doesn't really like mean it. She's just like, oh, okay, like if you're gonna do this, like whatever, I'll just like say it. And then Sincere tells her that they are the strongest connection here, but Melanie's like, okay, like what are you talking about? Like we're not. Like I don't believe that now, that like you're just talking like absolute bullshit. Like I'll believe it when I see it. That's the end of day number 3. So day number 4, we have the text for a game, and you know how like some games it's like the guys who like do the, let's call it like an obstacle course or the challenges, then you have the girls to do like the challenges. So this time we have, oh my god, I forgot to couple up. Wait, let me couple up Kata and Gabe. I was looking at my screen and I'm like, huh, why is someone alone over here? Because they didn't couple them up. Give me a sec. Much better. So this challenge, we have the girls who are the stars of the show, right? They do the little like challenge obstacle course. Then they have to go through this like little door, right? None of them know what's going on. So they open the door, they go inside, and there's like another door there. They're like looking around, and then suddenly that other door opens, and in walks Mr. Bombshell number 2, Corbin, who makes out with all the girls, and he's like, oh, don't tell the guys. So all the girls go, he's there, and then like challenge ends. And then once the challenge ends, all the girls are like talking with each other. They're like, oh my god, like did you see him? Because Corbin is like, he's like big, he's like 6'4". So the girls are like, oh my god, like what the hell? Then now we have a text that announces Corbin's arrival. So all the guys were like, wait, what the hell? Like he was in the challenge, and you guys like you didn't even show on your face. Like we had no idea. Anyways, Corbin comes in and he gets to know the girls, and they're all sitting by the fire pit. What was like understood was that Kenzie's single, so Kenzie should get first pick. But then Melanie, she's like, well, she's sitting right next to Corbin, and she's sitting like next to Kenzie also. So when she kind of like leans in towards Corbin, she's like blocking Kenzie, which Bea, you know, she picked up on it. She was like, it doesn't really seem super nice. And then like, you know, he's getting to know all the girls at the same time. And then Melanie, out of nowhere, she's like, oh, can I pull you for like a little private chat? They have a little conversation, and I forget who, I think Trinity ends up pulling Corbin from Melanie. And then Melanie comes down, sits with the girls again, and then Bea's like, you probably should have like, you know, kind of taken a step back, because like, you have a good connection with Sincere. I'm not saying you can like get to know him, but Kenzie is single. I think she should have got first pick. And you immediately asking like, oh, you know, can we go for a chat? Like there's nothing wrong with that, but I think like Kenzie should have done it first. The conversation, like it doesn't get heated, but Melanie doesn't feel super great, and it ends with her walking off and crying. And Bea's a little bit confused because she's like, I don't really understand what happened. Like I guess she's just like really sensitive. And that's where the day ends. But next day, day number 5, we have Melanie and Bea who talk again. Bea's like, you know, I'm sorry, maybe my delivery wasn't like the best, and I apologize for hurting you. And then she opens up about these insecurities that she has, because she feels like all of the girls are like sensitive, they can be open, they can show emotion, whereas her, she's been taught not to do it. And she's like, you know, I don't feel like I'm like feminine enough to have guys be interested in me. And it was actually such a wholesome conversation, and I think the girls like really bonded. Like obviously like no hard feelings, but honestly like super wholesome convo. We have Corbin, who's, you know, continuing to get to know all the girls, and him and Kenzie share a little kiss, so that's super cute. We have Casey and Anaya who talk, and Casey just, he goes on this like speech about how amazing Anaya is, and it's truly so cute. I was like, I love him. Like, he's so wholesome. He calls her the best girl here, and I'm like, oh my god. Then we have Kenzie, who also gets to know Gabe, and she's super, super interested, but she even like tells him, I'm kind of like scared about Bea. Like, I have to talk to her first before we like explore this more, because like I do have respect for her, and like I saw how she's scared of her, not in the way that like Bea's gonna like overreact, but it's like, Bea's gonna be like very like strict, and I guess like I don't know, it's just like how she was with Melanie. Not that she acted in like a bad way, but she's like, I'm kind of like worried because I know that it's gonna cause a problem. So I do want to talk to her first, give her a heads up, and then we can like get to know each other. At night, we have a text for a recoupling. Well, during the day, we have a text for a recoupling, and it says that the girls are gonna pick, but it doesn't mention that Corbin is gonna go first. Normally, the bombshells do go first, but it doesn't say anything. And then when they're getting ready at night, Corbin gets a text of like, oh, surprise, surprise, like you're so good at keeping secrets, so you get to have first pick and like don't tell anyone. So everyone gathers by the fire pit, and no one thinks that Corbin is gonna go first, but Corbin goes first, and he decides to couple up with Kenzie. And then you have Anaya, who couples up with KC, Trinity, who couples up with Bryce, Melanie, who couples up with Sincere, Kata, who couples up with Zach, and then finally we have Bea, who goes. We have Gabe and Sean, who I left, and she couples up with Sean. So my bad, she couples up with Gabe, meaning unfortunately I should have had my Sharpie ready to cross them out. She couples up with Zach. Oh my god, this is like not opening, which unfortunately means that Sean is dumped from the villa. Can you guys see the cross? Let me make it darker. I forgot that I used to do it in like whiteboard marker, and I feel like you can kind of see it now better. I'm gonna reorder how much is there anything going on for the rest of the day? Okay, well, I'm gonna like finish off the day, and then we're gonna like reorder everyone. So the last little bit of like footage that we see from this day is Kenzie talking to the girls after Sean's gone, and she tells them, like, if I had to pick, like, I honestly would have picked Corbin, but that doesn't mean that I didn't want to like stop exploring Sean. I just would have picked Corbin. And that marks the end of day number 5. We're gonna clean up, and then we're gonna move on to day 6. So day 6, there's not much going on like during the day. Obviously we have Casey and Corbin that are getting to know each other, and then at night we have a text for this like slumber party, right? So it's like a party, everyone's having fun. Then we have a text for a challenge. So Ariana actually comes back, and there's basically this like massive bed in the villa. So the whole game is that the guys are handcuffed to the bed, and the girls are blindfolded, and they have to like go around and find their guy. So each girl goes, and they take their turns, and then out of nowhere in walks Bombshell Soul. She does the same thing as the girls, but obviously she's not blindfolded. The guys have to stay quiet to not like have their like partner like find them. So she goes around and she kisses the guys, and then she leaves, right? More girls go, and then we have, surprise, surprise, another bombshell, Jen, who comes in, does the exact same thing as Soul, and then leaves again. All the girls have no idea what is going on, and then once it's done, they all like look at the colors, because basically they put their hands in like paint, and each girl had like a different color, and that's how you can see like where the girls like went and like what they touched. But they're looking and they're like, who is red? And none of the girls are red, so they're super confused. And then Ariana announces our 2 bombshells, but that's not it. That's not done. The girls are obviously like not really happy, but then Ari's like, you know what, girls, like I didn't leave you out also. Keep in mind that like the girls were like blindfolded when the bombshells were like kissing the guys, but now like no one is blindfolded, and she's like, you know what, girls, I didn't forget about you. I have a little surprise for you. In walks bombshell Caleb, and he does the exact same thing that the girls did, just without the blindfolds. So the guy saw everything, and I'm like, oh, Ariana, it's messy, and I love it. So Melanie and Sincere are talking after the challenge, and basically what Melanie did in the challenge was that she was kind of, well, like Sincere was next to Corbin. She was going like back and forth, kissing Sincere, then Corbin, then Sincere, then Corbin. And Sincere is like, you obviously knew that it was me because you put your hand in my hair. Like, obviously Corbin and I, like, very, very different hairs. And he was like, well, you knew, like, why did you do that? And like they talk, they end up like going their separate ways, as in like they split up. Well, they stay together, but they like go in different directions after the conversation. And Sincere's talking with the guys, and he's like, I do like Melanie, but I'm kind of having my doubts because of this behavior. Like, is it something that is going to get worse? Is it something that's going to continue out of the villa? Like, I don't know how this is going to go, so I'm flagging it in my mind. Day number 7, we have Gabe, who was like, move it. He's making moves. So he pulls Jen, they have a chat, and he kisses her. He pulls Soul, they have a chat, and he kisses her. And then we also have Sincere and Soul Seoul who have a chat and he kisses her. Okay, keep that in mind because that's a big thing. Then we have Kenzie and Caleb who have a chat and they kiss. And Kenzie, she basically wanted this like cowboy type guy. And then, he's finally here. So everyone's like, oh my God, Kenzie, he's like perfect for you. At night, and guys, this is absolutely crazy. So at night, we have Sincere and Soul who are talking in the speakeasy, which is like a little private room, right? They have like a pretty good chat and then they're like kissing, right? So she's like sitting on his laps. She gets up and then literally as she like turned around to leave, Melanie opens the door. Like literally if Melanie was there like 5 seconds earlier, she would have seen it. Everyone is like, oh my God, like how does she not see it? But damn. But anyways, he does tell her that he kissed Soul and Melanie's mad. She walks away. Then we also have Kenzie who's honest with Corbin that she kissed Caleb. And then Gabe who's honest with Beatrice that he kissed, both Islanders. And that marks the end of day number 7. So in day number 8, we have Sincere and Melanie who have another chat. I just need to like move my notes so I can see what I'm saying. So he tells Melanie that he doesn't want to lose her and he doesn't like see something going further with Soul. Like he really wants to focus on her and put his energy into her. So Melanie's like, okay, well, nothing's gonna happen between him and Soul anymore because like he obviously said he wants to put all his energy into me. So that's great, right? No. Because you know what happens? Sincere pulls Soul to have a chat in private in soul ties, right? And Melanie obviously sees them going up and she doesn't see them coming down. And she's like, okay, they've been talking for like over an hour. Like, what can you possibly be talking about for over an hour? And like, obviously they do kiss. Like, Melanie doesn't know that. She is getting so annoyed. She wants to go up there. She wants to pull him from her. But everyone is like, Melanie, don't. Like, calm down. It's okay. Like, don't do that. Like, that's gonna make you look bad. Like, he's not gonna like that. Like, just calm down, breathe, don't do it. They actually end up like not convincing her to not go and do it. And she's like thinking, like, I don't think I can trust him. I don't think I can believe him, like, with like what he tells me. So she actually does end up pulling Corbin and they do have a pretty good chat. He does ask her for a kiss, but she's like, like, I want to move slow. Like, I don't want to do it. Like, I am interested in you. Like, maybe later on, just like, not now. And she's also like, he's with Kenzie. Kenzie seems to really like him. Like, I'm going to talk to Kenzie first and then we're going to see what's going on over here. So at night, we have Bryce who actually pulls Zach and he tells her that he's interested in Kata and he wants to, have a chat, get to know her. So Zach at first he laughs because he's like, okay, like, do whatever you want. Like, I don't think that like it's gonna happen, but like whatever, you have to explore, go explore. Then they do talk about Trinity and Bryce says, like, I'm super into her, but I don't feel like she's into me. Like, I feel like there's like something that's like not clicking for her. And Zach is like, you know what, honestly, like I do feel that. Genuinely, I think that also. So Bryce actually, before pulling Kata, he talks to Trinity and he tells her that like he's gonna pull her to have a chat, but she says number one, he doesn't want her to worry. Then he goes to Kata, he pulls Kata, and he's open and he's honest, right? Kata's like, I'm still open because obviously it's still like super early. I am open, but generally I see you as a friend. And there's like no hard feelings between them because Zach is like, not Zach, because Bryce is like, I totally understand, I just wanted to like get it off my chest to, like not leave any stone unturned, basically. We also have Melanie and Sincere who have another chat when he's trying to convince her that nothing's going on with Soul, but like obviously something's going on with Soul. So he tells her that he's like super invested in her and he just wanted to like once again like not leave any stones unturned. And he says that he doesn't have a connection with Soul. And Melanie's like, you literally kissed her like 4 times in the past like 24 hours. You have a connection with her because like if you didn't, you wouldn't be doing that. But Sincere is like adamant on the point that like he does not have a connection with Soul. So Melanie tells him like, okay, I'm not gonna step away from this connection, but I will go explore, because like if you're gonna explore, I'm gonna explore because I don't want to look stupid in the end of it. Sincere is like very, very insistent and like he really likes her. He wants to focus on her. He doesn't want to get to know anyone else. And Melanie's like, okay, one more chance. That's it. No more chances after that. One more chance. Show me that you actually care about me. You actually want to be with me. Because like this is it. It's done after that. So day number 9, we have a text for a little game. So in this game, it's kind of like, a different version of like the pieing game, right? So you have some nice questions and then some like naughty questions. So every islander goes and there's like a sentence that's read, right? It's like girls versus boys. And if it's a nice question, my camera ended up dying, so I apologize if the angle changed, but basically for the naughty questions, the islanders, the girls would pick a guy, like a girl to pie a guy, and the guys would pick a guy to pie a girl. And then for the nice challenge, nice questions, nice questions, they would kiss the islander, right? Okay. It's a fun game, right? But then Sol gets pied twice and she's like really getting pissed off because everything is kind of like picking, it's just like making digs at her for exploring, whereas everyone else was like so closed off and she's like, I'm literally exploring the only person who's like giving me energy and I'm getting punished for that. Like, how does that make sense? So she's like really like fuming and like not feeling great by the end of the challenge. Then at night, we have Ariana who comes and she announces that there was a public vote for who Caleb, Jen, and Sol should be coupled up with. So for Jen, they pick Gabe, for Caleb, they pick Kenzie, and for Sol, they pick Sincere. So everyone who is vulnerable right now is Corbin, Beatrice, and Melanie. Obviously, there's two girls, there's one guy. So Ariana tells Corbin that he can pick which girl he wants to couple up with, and he decides to pick Melanie, unfortunately meaning that Bea is single and dumped from the villa. Day number 10, we have a lot of things going on. So first, we have Kenzie and Corbin who have a chat, and they're not coupled up, but they still do share a kiss. And then we do have a text for a challenge because the World Cup just started. So it's a World Cup themed challenge. Super cute, super fun. After the challenge, we have Corbin and Melanie who talk. And keep in mind, Corbin like kissed Kenzie this morning, right? He tells her that he's going to take a step back from Kenzie to really focus on Melanie and their connection, which is like, you literally kissed Kenzie hours ago. And then we have KC who actually pulls, where is she? Who pulls Sol because Sol kind of reminds him of his ex, and he tells her that he wants to get to know her, but he's not as like open as Sincere is. At night, the Islanders get a text that the hideaway is open and they decide to pick Kate and Zach to spend a night over there. We also have Kenzie and Corbin who talk again. It's like super close, cuddly. Like they do not kiss, but everyone thinks that they kiss, and Melanie's like really mad because she's like, I was in a triangle before, I don't want to be in another triangle again, and like you go and kiss Kenzie. But he does explain, like they both explain that like, okay, like we did not kiss, it was just like hugging. So that was cleared up, but they did both express that they were like very, very, very into each other. Then we have Anaya who's talking with the girls, and she's kind of feeling insecure because she's like, this is the first time that Casey kind of had his eye on someone else, and she's like, I feel like I'm Casey's safe choice. I feel like he's only with me just because it's safe, and then when his type is gonna come in, he's gonna leave. So Anaya not feeling super, super great. That's gonna mark the end of day 12, then day 10. So day 11, we have Corbin and Melanie that talk, and he tells her that Kenzie did want to kiss last night, but he said no, it's be respectful towards Melanie. And Melanie was basically like sleeping outside. She didn't really feel comfortable sleeping in the bed because she wanted to like give herself some space, and obviously she knew that like Corbin and Kenzie had a thing, but he tells her that he really, really wants to focus on her, get to know her, make their connection stronger because he knows that they have a connection. So Melanie's like, you know what, I think a really good first step is to sleep in the same bed tonight, and you know, we see where it goes from there. We have Anaya and Casey who talk, and Anaya's like, you know, I'm not feeling super great because you're clearly my number one, but I don't feel like you're that I'm your number one. But then Casey's like, well, remember day one, like no one was my number one, like you didn't stand in front of my door, but if I could, I would have picked you. You know, you were always my number one. Anaya doesn't really believe it, and she's like, you know, if my feelings are the only thing that are preventing you from getting to know someone else, screw my feelings, forget about them. Like, you know, she's like, I want to see the person who you truly are, right? If you go do it, obviously you don't want to be with me. If you don't do it, you obviously want to be with me. So it makes my job easier if you actually, if it's like me that's like setting you back, like don't think about me, do it, and I'll make my own decision. We have Mel and Sincere who talk, and they both say that they really miss the other person, but then Sincere is like still kissing Sol. Yeah. But then we have Corbin and Kenzie who do talk, and they both say that they really have strong feelings for the other person. And you know, it's a very like, I guess like honest conversation, because Kenzie's like, you know, I don't really feel like you're giving me signs that you like me. Like, I feel like I think that you do, but I don't like 100% believe it. And Corbin's like, okay, you know, I'm gonna start doing this, I'm gonna start doing that. And they do end up having a little kiss. So day number 12, the next day, Kenzie, well, okay, so they agree that like they're not gonna tell anyone that they kiss. But day 12, Kenzie decides to talk with Sol and Jen and tells them that, you know, like I actually did kiss Corbin last night. And then Kenzie and Caleb have a chat and they kiss, right? But Caleb doesn't know that Kenzie kissed Corbin the night before. They get a text during the day that there's a recoupling tonight, and how it's gonna work is that everyone gets to write a little love letter to the person that they want to couple up with, and that's pretty much all that happens during the day. So at night, Ariana comes back and everyone has a little like a mailbox next to them. So one by one, the guys or the girls, who goes first, I forget who goes first, every single couple opens up their envelope, their mailbox, and if there's an envelope, they read it, and it's obviously signed by the person. I think the girl goes first, right? And if it's signed by the guy and the guy gets the envelope from the girl, they couple up. If someone does not get an envelope, then like we're gonna see what what happens, right? So what's the order? We have Trinity who goes first. She gets a letter from Bryce. Bryce gets one back from Trinity, so they remain a couple. After that, we have Jen who gets one from Gabe. Gabe also gets one from Jen, so they are also a couple. Anaya writes to Casey. Casey writes back, so we have our other couple. And then Kata and Zach, obviously they're obsessed with each other. They write about each other, so they remain in a couple. Next, we have Kenzie who goes. Like, Kenzie actually gets 2 letters. So she reads them both, and then Caleb is in a couple with her, right? So he opens his envelope, well, he opens his mailbox, and unfortunately, he does not have a letter from her. Then Corbin opens his mailbox, and he has 1 letter, and it's from Kenzie, so they become another couple. Sincere goes, and turns out he has 2 letters. Soul's message was actually the most memorable one for me. It was so beautiful. Like, I was genuinely so surprised because I'm like, this is a work of like literary art. And then Soul opens her mailbox. There's nothing. Melanie opens it and she has a letter. So she couples up with Sincere. And so unfortunately, Soul and Caleb do not have letters, but they're not eliminated. They just form another couple. After the challenge, Kenzie and Caleb talk, and she tells him that like she still wants to be friends with him, but Caleb is like, you know, I can really do that. Like, I can't only be friends with like people who I was into. So, you know, like, no hard feelings, but it's not something that I'm interested in. Let's clean up the board and make the new couples, and then we can move on to day number 13. So today we don't really have like much that's going on. We do actually have Soul and Sincere who have a chat, and Sincere tells her that he never intended to leave Melanie, but then Soul is like, you never told me that. You were like constantly kissing me. If you weren't gonna leave, for at least be honest with me. So she's like pissed off because she's like, you know, if you were closed off, tell me, so I wouldn't have made a fool of myself. I wouldn't have like gone and like kissed you if like you clearly didn't want to be with me. But anyways, that was the only like notable thing during the day. At night, Ariana comes back and she says that there was a public vote for the favorite couple. So the couples that are at risk of being eliminated are Jen and Gabriel, Soul and Caleb, and Kenzie and Corbin. So all the safe islanders have to decide who goes home. All the girls get to pick the guy who is sent home, and all the guys get to pick the girl who is sent home. The girls decide to save Corbin and Caleb, unfortunately meaning that Gabe is sent home, and then the guys decide to save Kenzie and Jen, meaning that Soul is sent home. The next day, day number 14, Caleb actually makes Jen breakfast, so that's super cute. And then we have a text for a challenge. So this is a like prince and princesses type of challenge. Well, prince and princesses, but it's like the guys who like complete the challenge. So Caleb, he's obviously not coupled up, so he gets to pick the girl to kiss at the end, and he actually decides to go with Kata. After at night, Caleb actually pulls Kata and they chat, and he's like, you know, would you be interested to getting to know me? Like, I know you're in a couple with Zach, but I just want to see like what my options are because I'm interested in you. And Kata's like, yeah, you know, I would want to get to know you. Like, I am interested. Like, I'm not closed off. I'm open. We have Anaya and then Trinity who talk, and Trinity actually tells Anaya that, because obviously like Bryce was one of the saved guys in like last night's elimination, I guess. So Bryce had actually told her that KC was the only guy who was kind of like fighting for Soul to stay in the villa. So Anaya's like not feeling super great because she's like, okay, like, you know, he didn't want to try to get to know her. She looks like his ex. If he was like fighting for her to stay, you know, like it doesn't sit right with me because it feels like I'm your safe choice. So kind of like reinforces that idea that she already has in her head. Anaya eventually decides to pull Casey, and she's like pissed off, you know. She asks him like, oh, like how come you did that? And then she's like, hey, you know what? Do whatever you want. Like, I don't care. Just like, if you want to act crazy, act crazy. If you want to be messy, be messy. I don't care. I don't care. And to end the day, we have Kata and Zach who have a little chat. And, you know, Zach asked her, right? It's like, Caleb, he kissed you during the challenge. Like, would you be interested in exploring him? Kata's like, yeah, you know, like, I would. But he's like not someone who I would typically go up to at a bar. And they talk, and it's like, I don't know. Zach, he makes like little comments here and there that kind of like stay in the back of your mind. And he has these behaviors. You just like, I don't know. It's like, I liked Zach at the beginning, but like slowly I'm seeing like little things. Not that he kind of like causes a scene, but it's like in the details, right? It's like pretty fine now, but I don't know, like slowly small things are like kind of like bothering me about Zach. Anyways, day number 15, we have Bryce and Zach who talk, and Zach is like, you know, I don't know if I should be like exploring other people, because if Kata wants to get to know Caleb and she likes Caleb, then like what if I get like left behind? And Bryce tells him like, even if it's not to get to know them like romantically, do make connections with people, like become friends with people, have chats with people to actually like get to know them better, right? They actually have a little text that at night, there's like what seems to be the heart rate challenge, right? And it's like pretty early on in the season. So I was like personally really confused. But everyone goes to get ready. And then the girls are obviously in their like little changing room. The guys are in the bedroom getting ready. And then the guys get a text saying that they have to pack their bags, leave the villa because they're going to Casa Amor. Oh no. Oh no. I was like, it's gonna be a mess. It's gonna be a mess. So obviously there was supposed to be a challenge, right? So the guys are dressed for the challenge, and the girls, when they're ready, they come out dressed for the challenge. They go to the fire pit thinking like, oh, the guys aren't ready or like something like that. And then they see a giant like presents box. They're like, huh, that's intriguing. Like that's weird. They sit down, there's still no guys, so they're like super, super confused. And then the present opens and it's a like TV screen showing the guys at Casa Amor. And it's like, oh, a message from Casa or something like that. Oh, it's messy. It's so messy. And then they're like, okay, so there's no challenge. But no, the girls don't have the challenge. The guys have the challenge with the new Casa girls. We're gonna clean this up and then I'm gonna introduce you to the new girls. So these are our 6 bombshells. There's Parmita, Jaden, Sydney, Tiara, Alana, and Amora. So the girls come in, they do the challenge, and then they're like, you know what, guys, now it's our turn. So the guys go back and they do the challenge with them. And then obviously everyone gets to know each other, right? So we actually have Casey, Mr. Casey over here, who ends up kissing, where is she? Tiara. And then we have Parmita and Caleb, who also kiss. As you can see, the girl, like, there's no guys for the girls, but just wait, because tomorrow, day 16, well, we're gonna like get into the girls, but like let's first talk about what the guys get up to the morning of day 16. I said it as if there was like so much that happened, but like not really. You just have Sincere, who ended up kissing Amora the night before because they did share a bed, but he tells the guys that he was actually thinking of Melanie the entire time. Okay, now the girls. We have Ari, who comes and meets the girls in the changing, well, not the changing room, in the like dressing room, the makeup room. They get to talking and they go outside, and then Ari is like, you know what, girls, you guys don't just have 6 bombshells, because like the guys got 6, but I was like, you know what, let's make it a dozen. And then in comes a boat with like 12 guys, and you're like, what the hell? And like obviously the guys like see the boat speeding by and they're like, shit. And also people do not actually stay in the villa. So Ariana announces that like, okay, you know, take the day, get to know each other, and then at night the girls decide like who they want to stay in the villa. After a day of having fun, the girls decide that they want to keep Corey, Dylan, Che, Carl, Ronnie, and Gal, or Gal. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Gal seems weird. I think it's Gal. But yeah, so obviously everyone is like still, well, the guys are still getting to know the girls, and the girls are really getting to know the guys this night. So we actually have, where are they? Zach and Alana, who share a little kiss. Same goes for Casey and Sydney, and then Sincere and Amora, my bad. But then on the girls' side, we have Anaya, who shares a kiss with Carl, Trinity, who shares a kiss with Corey, and then Jen, who shares a kiss with Gal. Then we jump back to the Casa Villa. So KC was sleeping with Tiara before, right? But then he kissed Sydney. He's like, you know what? I kind of want to share a bed with Sydney. So he tells that to Sydney. Then he tells Tiara that he doesn't want to share the bed with her. And she's like, obviously she's like not happy. Like, not that she's not entitled to, but like she shouldn't have like a super strong reaction because she doesn't know him. But like, you know, it still hurts, right? But the guys are like, oh no, she's like acting like she has a stronger reaction than if it was Anaya. So they didn't really like that. Yeah, Casey's being messy. So day 17, the guys talk and Zach is like, yeah, I kissed Alana, but I was thinking of Kata the entire time. I actually really miss Kata. So we have, where are they? We have Kata and Che, who are getting to know each other. Very fun, cute, flirty vibes. And Che actually asked for a kiss, but then Kata's like, you know, I'm not feeling it right now, but like maybe tonight. And then Caleb, where's Caleb? Okay, here. Caleb sees that, where is he? That Corbin, oh my god, he was like literally right next to him. That Corbin is starting to get to know Parmita. So he's like, okay, you know, I don't want to be in like another love triangle with like Corbin again. So he's like, you know, I'm gonna pull Jaden. I'm gonna get to know Jaden. So this is where things get like messy, right? So we have Corbin and KC who are talking, right? KC is like, you know, I don't really have anything in common with Anaya. I didn't write down exactly what the conversation was, but at some point, like, the guys asked, how are you feeling about, like, or okay, they're like, how much do you have in common with Tiara? And Casey's like, I have so much in common with Tiara. And then they ask, okay, like how much do you have in common with Anaya? And he's like, bro, there's literally nothing I have in common with Anaya. And then we also have Corbin, who says that he has a better connection with Parmita than Kenzie. And keep in mind, he doesn't know Parmita. Yeah, so honestly, once I saw that, I was like, oh, the recoupling is gonna be an absolute mess. But anyways, everyone gets a text, and tonight is the heated, what's it called? Like, they don't have the same name this year. I don't know if I'm thinking of like the Love Island UK name, but the like when they compete against each other, right? It's that game tonight. The Vela ends up winning. Like, these challenges is very like raunchy and like whatever. So there's like nothing really to like talk about. Obviously, everyone is like, oh my god, like what's my partner doing and stuff like that. But yeah, so there was that challenge. And then at night after the challenge, Zach pulls Alana and they share a little kiss. Day 18, Alana's gone, right? So we don't really know what's happening, but you know, you can kind of like connect the dots, figure out like what exactly happened. And then we have Anaya, Keita, and Kenzie who are talking. And Kenzie tells him, like, if there's even like a sliver of a chance that you like someone, bring them back, because you cannot trust. Well, I think Zach is like much more trustworthy than others, but Kenzie's really going with the mindset that like you cannot trust them. If there's even a slight chance, bring them back, because with these men, you literally never know. Melanie's having a little dilemma. So she really likes the connection that she's forming with Corey, but then she's like, there's like something with Sincere, and it pisses me off so much that she doesn't like realize the type of person that Sincere is, but like whatever, that we're gonna come back to like later on. But she's like, I have a really good connection with him. He's like literally the perfect guy for me, everything that I want, but I still can't get my mind off of Sincere. And it's like, girl. So we remember how at the beginning of Casa, we have the girls who they don't get pictures, but they get to see like the screen where the guys are like kissing the girls, getting to know the girls. I'm sorry, I'm like stepping over the wire of my mic so I can like go from side to side. So the guys get that little video, and then Zach sees Keita kissing, I think Che, but it's in a challenge, obviously. And Zach is like grappling. He's like, okay, like it is a challenge. If she were to kiss him outside of a challenge, it would probably be a different picture. So Zach is like, he's a little on edge, but he's like, you know, I think it's like just a challenge. And then Bryce sees a picture of, where is she, of Trinity kissing, I think also Corey, now that I think about it, also Corey in the photo booth. And that, like, obviously it's not inside of a challenge, so Bryce is a little more like on edge about that. He's just like, Trinity. He's not even trying to like he's not trying to get to know someone in Casa that way, because his mind is like set on Trinity, which is like really cute. But yeah, you know, because that's his mentality, that does really hurt him. And Corbin is actually really happy that he's seeing Kenzie kissing Dylan, because he's like, okay, you know, like I explored, she's exploring, it like makes it okay what I'm doing. At night we have Melanie, Anaya, and Keita, who up until this point they weren't really like sleeping with the guys, weren't really being physical to respect their partner, but they're like, you know what's, tonight like we're all gonna sleep in the same bed with them, we're gonna like cuddle, we're gonna give it a chance. Like obviously we're not gonna kiss if we don't want to kiss, but like we're gonna start warming up, seeing if there's like possibly something there. So day 19 is actually a really, well, it starts off as a really, really cute day. So Corey plans this like little breakfast picnic for Melanie, and then Melanie's like, I can see myself kissing you, so she kisses him. And guys, I was so excited. And then Dylan plans this little like massage date for Kenzie, which is super, super cute. So everyone's having fun, right? Starts off wholesome, cute fun. But then we get a text that it's the Casa More recoupling. So it's about to get very messy. Let me just grab my black marker, because I'm going to be crossing some people off, so it's like easier for me later on. I couldn't find black, so we're going to have red. I think I'm going to zoom out for this. So it is, oh no. Okay, perfect. So first up, well, obviously we have Ariana that comes in. First up, we have Jen and Caleb. So Jen decides to couple up with, where is he? With Gaul. So they're a new couple. And then Caleb decides to couple up with Jaden. And everyone is like super happy for Jaden and for for Jen and for Caleb, because it was more of like a friendship couple and they both found a partner. So everyone is like super, super happy, especially for Caleb. People are like ecstatic for Caleb. Next, we have OG couple Kenzie and Corbin. So Kenzie decides to couple up with Dylan, and then Corbin decides to walk back with Parmita. So once again, we have two new couples. One thing that really, really stood out in this Casamore versus other ones is that there was like animosity, but certain people, it was like more heartbreaking, more animosity. Like truly this Casa recoupling, like, I mean, I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'm also going to say it in like 30 seconds. A lot of decisions were made that I don't think should have been made. I was frustrated. Like if you go to watch my June vlog, I like expressed how frustrated I was, because I literally turned my camera on after watching the Casa episode, because I'm like, I can't. Like, I'm going crazy. I'm pissed off. I can't. Anyways, the next to go are Kata and Zach. And Kata, I didn't think that she would have picked Che, but I was like, it could have been interesting. One thing that I do not know is if Alana was still, I mean, let me cross her off right now because she's like not in the villa. If Alana was still in the villa, do I think Zach would have explored? I do not know. I truly do not know because she was gone pretty fast. Who's to say? Who knows? But anyways, they end up picking each other, so they are still together. We have Melanie and Sincere who are up next. I truly thought Melanie would have picked Corey and Sincere would have picked Tiara, because also, I mean, Sincere was like being very, very messy in Casa, and Melanie literally that morning she kissed Corey. So I was like, okay, she wouldn't have kissed Corey if there wasn't something there. But in the end, she ends up picking Sincere, and I was so mad. But I was like, okay, like she's gonna pick him, like whatever. When he comes back, she goes off at him, which like he deserves, like as you should, because he deserves that. But then also it's like, why are you coupling up with him? Like that's what I do not understand. Like you said, Corey is like the perfect guy for you, the type of person that you want, and you were comfortable enough to kiss him, but then you pick Sincere and you're not even like happy to see, I don't know, like that honestly really pissed me off, because I was like, Melanie girl, you have no business. So yeah, we're gonna cross off Che. Next we have Trinity and Bryce, and to no one's surprise, they pick each other. Wait, let me cross off Corey also. To no surprise, they pick each other, so they remain a couple. After that, we have the last to go, which is Anaya and Casey, right? Casey, I knew 100% he was going to come back with someone, but I truly thought Anaya would come back with Carl, because they're so cute together. Carl is so perfect. Like, Carl is a man, Casey is a boy, basically. Like, that's what it looks like. Everyone is like, I can see Anaya with Carl. Like, that makes sense. Unfortunately. No, my bad. Did I say Sincere was getting to know Tiara? Sincere was getting to know Amora. My bad. But yeah, so Anaya actually decides to stay with Casey. And then when Casey comes back with Tiara, this poor girl, she breaks down crying. And like, I was so mad because I was like, you should have picked Carl. Like, you knew that you should have picked Carl. The whole world knew that you should have picked Carl. Why do you not pick Carl? Like, I was truly, like, between Melanie picking Sincere and Anaya picking Casey, I was like, I'm pissed off. You guys, like, I can understand you want to be with this guy and you have, like, so much emotions for him, but it's like, please pick someone who's better. Before moving everyone around, the last thing that happened today was, like, obviously Naya was, like, really, like, frustrated and like not feeling like herself, and Melanie gives her such a good pep talk. Melanie, you give great advice, you're an amazing friend, but it's like, take your own advice, please. So day 20, we have everyone who is talking about, well, let me just like go over who was eliminated. So we have Che, Ronnie, Sydney, Corey, Amora, Alana, well, Alana was before, and Carl, who are eliminated, and our couples are Parmita Corbin, Jaden Caleb, Tiara Casey, Melanie Sincere, Jen Gall, Trinity Bryce, Kenzie Dillon, Kata Zach, and Anaya is left single. So yes, day 20, we have Casey who wants to talk to, well, no, he doesn't necessarily want to talk to Anaya, but people are telling him like, you should talk to Anaya, but he's like, I cannot talk to her because like I have feelings too, my feelings matter. Also, like I don't feel like I want to talk to her right now. Anaya actually talks with Zach, and she tells Zach that like she really did have a good connection with Carl, but she didn't want to bring him back if she was going to pursue things with Casey, to not like put Carl in that place, which is actually very honorable of her, but it still like pains me so much because it's like, you should have brought it back, girl. You should have brought him back. He was like literally perfect. So we have Melanie and Sincere who talks, and obviously Melanie like knows what was like going on during cast, because like the girls would tell her, and like Sincere told her a little bit also, and she's like, you keep saying that you're gonna change, but you keep doing this, like when the hell are you gonna change? And Sincere was like really insistent on the point that like he's gonna change him and nothing, blah blah blah. Melanie's pissed off, so she storms off, and then Sincere goes and talks to Zach, and he's like, I don't understand why it's so deep, why she's mad. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I don't understand. Melanie should have picked Corey. So that night, the Islanders get a text that there's a little game, and then surprise, we have Megan the Stallion who comes back. So they play their game, right? A lot of like shots are fired, and then Megan announces that we actually have 2 Islanders from Casa Amor that the public voted should come back. And if you paid attention, that's why I did not cross off Amora and Carl, because they are the ones that were picked to come back. Anaya's face when she sees Carl, I think everyone, like the public, the Islanders, like Anaya, we were all like, yes, thank you so much, because guys, like I love Carl. I love Carl so much. He is just wow. Just wow. So Tiara being pretty good friends with Amora back in Casa, she pulls Amora when she comes back, and she tells her that Sincere is acting like he doesn't even know her, like they've never talked, whereas like they did talk in Casa. She's like, he's acting like it didn't happen, Casa didn't exist, it was like a blip that like no one remembers. And she also calls him the most toxic one in the villa, which like if you had your doubts on Sincere, like here you go, it's served on like a golden platter, steaming hot. And then we have Carl, who obviously pulls Anaya, and he's like, I really want to continue exploring this, like I really like you, I want to see where this goes, but I do have my guard up a little bit, my walls are a little bit up, obviously because of everything that happened, but Anaya, I do really want to get to know you. And I'm like, well, not get to know you, but like get to progressing this connection. And I'm like, yes. We have a lot going on day 21. So first thing in the morning, we have the Islanders that get a text, and Bryce and Trinity get to go on a date, and they decide to be boyfriend and girlfriend. So we love. And then we have some messiness, right? So we have Kenzie who pulls Kate, and she's like, I do really want to get to know Gal. I kind of like took a step back, so I was getting to know Dylan, and obviously Jen is with Gal, but she's like, what? I'm feeling it. I kind of want to explore. I started off liking Kenzie, but I slowly started like to not like her because I don't know this girl, right? I don't know her personally. All I know is what I see on like my screen. And I feel like she's the type of person who like needs that validation from a guy that she's like attractive, and she just like always needs someone around, which again, she might not be like that in real life. And I apologize if I'm like saying this, I think that's not how she is, or it's like, I'm really sorry that like the show portrayed you that way. But the way that she was showed, it's like, is not content with one guy, and she's like always chasing someone else. She always wants to have two people who are into her. She wants to feel important. And I'm like, you seem really happy with Dylan, and like you say you're really happy with Dylan. Why? Girl, why? Parmita and Corbin chat, and they decide to be closed off, so we love that. We have Carl and Anaya who have a little convo and then kiss and soul ties. Yes. On a more like negative note, we have, where are they? Gal, who brought up a couple, well, we have Jen who brings things up to Gal, and he's like super respectful about like her point of view, like her opinions and everything. But then he feels like when he brings up stuff to Jen, she's like more dismissive. So Gal isn't like, he's like not in the greatest headspace. So I think that's why he was like so open to getting to know Kenzie, and like they do share a kiss that night. But you can kind of see that it's like, it's a little messy. Obviously Dylan is gonna find out that they kissed. This poor guy is heartbroken. Like he's actually crying. You can tell that he really likes Kenzie. And I'm like, girl, stop, please. No, you don't need to kiss Gal. You have Dylan. Dylan likes you. You like Dylan. Stop. Day 22, people are saying exactly what I just said, that it seems like Kenzie likes the attention of having two guys like always after her. But anyways, like not that much happens, but it's movie night. So it's gonna be a mess, right? I'm not gonna talk about like everything that was seen, but the clips that we have are, well, clips of Zach and Alana at Casa. We have Corbin at Casa being like very messy, and like also the comments he was saying about Kenzie. There's Casey, and not exactly how he is with the girls, but like the things that he's like saying about Anaya. We also have Anaya and her exploration, her connection with Carl. We have some messiness. There's like one clip with Sincere and Amora, and then there's another clip, Sincere and Soul, to show like everything that was going on. And then we also have Kenzie with her like little back and forth earlier on between Caleb and Corbin, so Dylan can like really see what's going on. And Dylan, like he's kind of like, he sees now that Kenzie's like happy with him, but she's like trying to go after Gal, and he's seeing like a parallel between her and Corbin and Caleb, and him and Gal. So he's like, nah, like everyone kind of has the idea of Kenzie, and like I'm like really sorry for her if that's like not how she is and that's not her intention. I just like happened to be portrayed that way. It did look pretty bad. Day 23, not much is going on. We have Caleb who feels like Jaden isn't really that much into him, so he's like, I'm gonna like yeah, I'm still getting to know her, but I'm gonna take a little step back. We have, where are they? Casey and Anaya, who actually talk it through, and they have such a mature conversation and like exit things on very like good terms. I want to say that they're like friends, but actually like very, very good terms, that I was surprised. Like I was truly really surprised. And then we have Melanie and Sincere who are talking. Melanie's pissed off because of like movie night, which she has every right to be. So that's the thing, is like you keep on getting mad at him. You're like, don't embarrass me, like stop doing this, it makes me look bad. I'm tired of being made to look bad. But you always go back to him. I'm like, I can understand that at this point you didn't pick Corey and like you're kind of like stuck with Sincere, but you had the perfect chance. Like you knew in your head how he was. Melanie. Day 24 is messy. So it starts off Pretty cute actually, with Sincere planning this brunch date for Melanie. But then we have a text that there's a recoupling and the boys pick. So obviously we have one more girl than we have of guys. So we know someone is going to be going home, right? The Islanders have their fun little day. And then at night, Ariana comes back. Ariana comes and she's like, boys pick, like blah, 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 whatever. So obviously we have Bryce who's going to choose Trinity. Dylan picks Kenzie. Zach picks Kata. Sincere picks Melanie. Corbin picks Parmita. Caleb picks Jaden. Casey picks Sierra. Carl picks Anaya. And then the last ones that we have are Gal, Jen, and Amora. Gal is like, I'm not feeling this with Jen because like she is very dismissive. Do I still want to be with her? Do I want to explore maybe possibly something can happen with Amora? And he ends up coupling up with Amora, meaning that Jen is dumped. But that's not it. That's not it, because Ariana now, Jen leaves. Ariana then announces that 2 more couples are going home and it's based on compatibility and not a vote from the public, a vote from the Islanders themselves. Messy, and I love it. So each couple gets to pick 2 couples that they think are the least compatible to potentially be dumped from the villa. Right? I'm going to be looking at my iPad because I have everyone written down. Well, we're going to do it this way because it's going to be easier. So Anaya and Carl and Trinity and Caleb both vote for, I'm going to mark a little thing next to them. So they both, I'm going to put them here. So they both vote for Kenzie. No, what am I saying? For Caleb and Jaden, also for Gal. So those 2 couples have 2 votes. Jaden and Caleb decide to vote for Kenzie and Dylan, and then Gal and Amora. Kenzie and Dylan decide to vote for Amora and Gal, as well as Parmita and, I was going to say Caleb, Parmita and Corbin. And then Parmita and Corbin decide to vote for, once again, Amora and Gal, and then Melanie and Sincere. So obviously, Gal and Amora do have 5 votes. No one else can override that, so they are unfortunately going home and being dumped from the villa. Amora and Gal end up voting Jaden and Caleb, as well as Melanie and Sincere. Melanie and Sincere vote for Kenzie and Dylan, as well as Gal and Amora. Tiara and Casey vote for Gal and Amora, as well as Kenzie and Dylan. So we have Jaden and Caleb who have 3 votes, Kenzie and Dylan who have 3 votes, and Melanie and Sincere who have 2 votes, right? So the final couple that gets to decide who goes home is Kata and Zach, and they vote for Amora and Gal, as well as Caleb and Jaden, meaning that Jaden and Caleb are also dumped from the villa. Day 25, not much happens during the day, but at night there's a little karaoke challenge, and Kenzie and Dylan actually end up winning. It was so fun to watch, but then Ariana comes back because we have another dumping, and it's like, God, girly, we literally lost 5 people last night. But no, we have another dumping. So in this case, we have the public that was voting for the most compatible couple, and then the couples who are at risk are actually Kate and Zach, which really surprised me, Kenzie and Dylan, as well as Parmita and Corbin. So since Kenzie and Dylan won the challenge, Ariana said that actually gives them immunity, so they are saved. And then the choice of who ends up going home falls to every single couple. So Ariana has them stand behind the people that they want to save. Tiara and Casey stand behind Parmita and Corbin. However, everyone else stands behind Zach and Kata, meaning that unfortunately Parmita and Corbin are going home. The next day, the girls have a little challenge, so they have to accomplish a few tasks before the guys, not before, without having the guys find out. So there's that. Then we have Kenzie and Dylan who talk about movie night, and Dylan really isn't feeling great because he has that feeling that it's not really real with Kenzie, and she's not being really genuine with him. And Kenzie's defense that she is being genuine with him and she likes him, she wants him, is that she tells him that she wants to bring Dylan back to her family. And at first, Dylan doesn't really comment on it, but then he talks to the guys, then he goes back to Kenzie and he's like, I didn't really want to say it before because I tried and I'm not super confrontational, but you did say that to Caleb and I saw how you treated Caleb, so having that be your defense that you're into me, that you want me, that you're gonna pick me, I don't believe it because it meant nothing to Caleb. So we don't really know what's gonna go on over there. We have Sincere and Zach who have a chat, and Zach is like, I do want to be more than exclusive with Kata, but not boyfriend and girlfriend just yet, because his mentality is that he wants to test out the real life world, so he wants to make it exclusively dating, but then everyone is like, that's kind of a situationship. But he's like, no, it's not. So a little bit confusing. But anyways, in that conversation, Sincere tells Zach that he's actually seeing Melanie like slowly becoming his girlfriend. They just want to see things on the outside world. I'm like, I'm kind of happy, I guess, but it's also like, Melanie, you deserve so much better than like this disgusting man. So Melanie and Sincere talk at night, and she still has like her concerns with the outside, and she's like, I have to see how life with you is outside before I can think about committing like long term, because I do not trust you completely. And Sincere goes on this like talk on how he sees her becoming his girlfriend, his fiance, his wife, the mother of his kids, and even Melanie's like, whoa. And when Sincere threw that out, I was like, that was when I really like ticked, like the thing that in the back of my brain that was like bugging, that was like itching, it like got flipped. I don't know if that makes sense, but that was when I was like, absolutely not. No, I do not like you. Get off my screen. Get off my face. Get off my face. Get out of my face. I don't want you to win. I don't want to see you anymore. Shoo, get off my screen. But there's it makes me mad because someone else should have gone to the hideaway, but there is a text for the hideaway being open and everyone decides to send Sincere and Melanie. I truly think it should have been Trinity and Bryce. They should have gone to the hideaway. Like Kata and Zach going earlier on, I can understand. Like that makes sense. Melanie and Sincere, no. Day 27, early morning before anyone wakes up, Anaya gets a text. So the girls have this like little girls' day. So they all go out, they have fun. Casey is talking to the guys and he's like, I was gonna say Anaya, oh my god, Tiara, my girlfriend. So he plans like little scavenger hunt for them, gets like everyone involved. Oh my god, I was so excited to see like what was going on. We have Kenzie and Dylan who talk when they come back and everything seems fine now and they're doing good. I kind of gained some hope. I was never in love with Kenzie, but I was like, okay, Kenzie's like redeeming herself like in my head. And then on nights we have the little scavenger hunt and it's so cute, so wholesome, and their boyfriend and girlfriend, which we love. Day number 28, the next day, it is family day, right? So obviously everyone has like cute fun little moments with their family, but then the moment that I have been waiting for, Sincere was put in his place by his own father, who was like, I did not raise my son to be like that. Finally. Like, Sincere's family was, like, defending Melanie. They were like, Sincere, you should not have been, like, treating her like this. It's just, like, seeing his dad truly be disappointed in him. I hope it changes something. Because, I mean, obviously, Melanie's parents were like, he's playing you, like, he's not good for you, Melanie. You deserve so much better. But, like, Sincere's dad, ooh. Oh, that was good. I love the dad. And okay, so Kenzie's dad wasn't able to be there. So he sent this, like, voice message. I teared up. It was truly the most wholesome, cutest thing ever. And how he was talking about like finding love, I was just like, oh my god, it just like it hit a spot on me and I was tearing up and I was crying. I'm even tearing up now thinking about it. Like, I don't remember the exact words that he said, but I was like, oh my god, that's actually so cute. Okay, but at night we have Melanie and Sincere who have a little chat and she decides that she still wants to pursue things with him. She still wants to see where this goes, but she's like, you have to make it up to my family and it's not going to take days or weeks. It's gonna take months. And if you want to be with me, you have to be ready to put in the work to make it up to them, which Sincere seems ready to be doing the work. And then Melanie's like, okay, out in the real world, we're gonna try things, we're gonna see how things go, but one mistake and it's done. Which I hope she sticks to that, because in the villa, it was like, he kept on making her look bad, and she was getting mad at him because she was like, you keep on making me look bad, you keep on embarrassing me, like, I don't want to be embarrassed because of you. But she still always went back to him, so I don't know if it was really because he was the only person that she was interested in, and she was like, okay, well, if I don't have him, there's like, I'm not gonna be on the show, which I can understand. In the real life, how is it gonna go? I don't know. Like, I would love to see their reunion to see if they're still together. Part of me would be so happy that they're not together, but another part is like, I don't know. We'll see what happens in the reunion. I'm probably gonna talk about it in my like August like monthly vlog. So if you want to see my opinions on the reunion, definitely go check it out over there, because this video is gonna come out, I'm filming this like June, well, the second part of it, I'm filming it mid-July. This video comes out like next week, so we're not gonna have time for the reunion. But anyways, I would love to see if they're still together, because it would have been like a month and a half since they left the villa. Like a month. We shall see. Day number 29, we have the most disgusting challenge I have ever seen on Love Island. Truly, I don't even want to tell you about it, because poor me, I was like, I'm gonna eat dinner while watching the grocery store challenge. Oh no, that was a bad idea. But anyways, oh my, it was like actually disgusting. Gross, absolutely vile. Can we just like, okay, why is it a thing on Love Island to have challenges where you transfer things with your mouth? Truly vile. But anyways, I'm like uncomfortable now. Anyways, at night we have a big dinner, and it's the dinner where we find out who the finalists are. So everyone goes and they open their little fortune cookie. So we have Trinity and Bryce who go first, and the little cookie says yes, they're going to the final. Same for Anaya and Carl, and then Melanie and Sincere. Next, so that means that like 3 are there. We have only one more couple that can go to the final. So Kenzie and Dylan open their card and, well, their cookie, and unfortunately it says no. After that, we have Tiara and Casey who open their card and it says no also, meaning Kate and Zach are going to the final. Personally, I definitely think Tiara and Casey should have gone to the final. I really think so. Yes, Melanie and Sincere have been together since day one, but all these problems and everything, they're not more deserving than Casey and Tiara. Absolutely not. Kenzie and Dylan, I would have picked them going to the final over Melanie and Sincere, even though they are a pretty new couple and there's like things that happened recently. I do not agree with Melanie and Sincere going to the final, and I was begging. I was like, if they win, I'm done. Like, I can't. I cannot. But at this point, when we find out who the finalists are, my thing was I really want either Anaya and Carl or Trinity and Bryce to win. I was like, Kate and Zach, like, they're a cute couple. Zach has his like weird moments, but I don't like want them to, like, I'm not gonna be mad if they win, but I feel like other people deserve it. Melanie and Sincere, I would actually be pissed off if they win, but I was like, you know what? Between Trinity and Bryce and Anaya and Carl, I don't know who I wanted to win more because I like them both, but part of me was like, I would be great if Anaya and Carl wins. But anyways, let's cross off everyone who's done and let's go into like the last final day. Okay, so the final day, everyone has their cute little dates, and then that brings us to the finale, right? Let's just go right into seeing who won Love Island. So my thing was I either wanted to be Anaya and Carl or Bryce and Trinity, and if I could pick one, Anaya and Carl, right? Anyways, we have all the finalists over here. So Ariana announces that in 4th place we have, is it gonna rip? Oh my god. We have Kata and Zach. And when I saw that it was Kata and Zach, I was like, oh no, because that means Melanie and Sincere are ranked higher. And I was like, I swear to God, if they're not 3rd, I'm gonna throw hands. I'm gonna be so pissed off. And then Ariana reveals that in 3rd place, we have Melanie and Sincere. And I was like, thank God. Meaning that the 2 people, like the 2 couples that I really want to win are either the winners or like the runner-ups. And then Ariana announces that the winner of Love Island USA season 8, I want to say, is Trinity and Bryce, which I was so happy because I feel like they do deserve it. And then obviously 2nd place, Anaya and Carl. I truly think that if Anaya had picked Carl, I think they would have won. Like Trinity and Bryce, it's hard to beat them, but I think that's the only thing that would have beat them because I feel like a lot of people will like Anaya and Carl. And like, yes, Trinity and Bryce are amazing, but it's like there's just something about Carl. I don't know. But I'm so happy with this. Wish this was not there. Like honestly, I think Kate and Zach should have been 3rd and Casey and Tiara should have been 4th. Personally, that's my opinion. But yeah, that's the entirety of Love Island USA season 8. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will be bringing out Love Island UK in maybe a month's time. Like that's going to be coming out mid-August because I was like, I need a break between USA and UK. Like I have started watching UK and maybe like 10 episodes in. So I still have like a long way to go because UK, there's like 50 something episodes. USA, it's like 32, significantly more, but it is coming. Get excited. I was considering, do I do Love Island Australia? Because I've never done Love Island Australia. I watch it. I don't know if people would be interested in it because I know that UK and USA are like the big ones. I didn't really hear anyone talking about Australia, but let me know if you would want to see that. I'd definitely be interested to do that. And yeah, another season of Love Island. I've seen what people are saying about it online. I think it was a little bit like raunchier than other seasons. I think that especially that food challenge had no business being there. It was disgusting. It was vile. I'm surprised no one threw up. I definitely think that since Love Island really became more popular back in after like Leah and Rob's season, which that was when I started talking about it because it like blew up, but I was watching it since like multiple seasons before. I think since then it has gotten a little bit raunchier, and Love Island USA, it's like much more raunchy than Love Island UK. I feel like that's why I like UK more because it's like it's interesting for the drama, but it's not like this food challenge. You would not see it on Love Island UK. So I don't know what's going on with Love Island. Yes, it's entertaining, Love Island USA, but I hope that it's maybe a little bit less, because I don't know, personally that's not for me. I don't like it. Will I stop watching Love Island? No. It would just make my experience more enjoyable. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, definitely do not hesitate to leave a thumbs up, please, because I worked so hard on this. And hit subscribe down below if you're excited for Love Island UK and possibly Love Island Australia. All my socials I linked down below if you want to go check me out, my TikTok, Instagram, and my Goodreads. And that's gonna be it for me today. I need to go eat and drink water because I am dying. So stay safe, protect your vibe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys.